Who was that one sibling who acted like the entire world revolved around them? For me, it was my older brother, Jason. According to Jason, rules were for other people. And the worst part? My parents seemed to agree. When we were kids, it was mostly annoying. As we got older, it became a serious problem. I remember being 14 years old and getting grounded for an entire month because I forgot to mow the lawn. That same week, Jason crashed his dirt bike straight through our neighbor's fence, and my parents just shrugged and said, at least he's getting outside and trying new things. That was how things worked in our house. Jason never asked for anything. He gave orders. Go get me a soda, wash my clothes, clean my room. And if anyone said no, he acted like he was the victim of some terrible injustice. The worst part was that he knew he'd get away with it every single time. By the time he was 17, he had a newer car than anyone else in the family, the latest phone, and a constant stream of expensive sneakers showing up at the house. Meanwhile, I was working a part-time job just to cover my own expenses. One time, Jason convinced my parents to spend $900 on a gaming setup simply because one of his friends had a better computer than he did. They barely questioned it. Then he started treating people at school the same way. He'd pressure younger students into doing favors for him. One kid took notes for him. Another carried his stuff around campus. Someone else practically did his homework. And if they refused, Jason would mock them in front of everyone. Nobody really challenged him. He was tall, popular, loud, and completely convinced he was the most important person in every room. Then came the night that changed everything. My parents were out of town attending a wedding. The second they left, Jason decided to throw a party. At first it seemed manageable. Then more people showed up, and more, and more. A few hours later, our house was packed with complete strangers. I stayed upstairs because I wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. Around 1 a.m., I heard a massive crash from downstairs. I ran down to see what happened. Someone had knocked over our huge living room TV. Glass was scattered everywhere, but Jason didn't seem concerned at all. He was actually laughing. Then he said something I'll never forget. Relax, Dad will just buy another one. That was the moment I realized he genuinely believed consequences didn't apply to him. But things were about to get much worse. The next morning, my dad discovered cash missing from his safe. My mom's expensive ring had disappeared too. Someone from the party had stolen them. When my parents got home and saw the damage, they were furious. And just like always, Jason tried to blame me. He pointed at me and said he knew the party was happening. Why didn't he stop it? And unbelievably, for a few seconds, my parents actually looked at me. That was it. I'd had enough. I looked directly at my dad and said, every time he does something stupid, you bail him out. Every time he hurts somebody or causes a problem, you make excuses for him. That's why he thinks he can do whatever he wants. The room went completely silent. Then Jason laughed. He shrugged and said, who cares? You'll just replace everything anyway. Something changed in my dad's face. For the first time in my life, he looked genuinely disgusted. The next morning, Jason's car was gone. His bank cards were canceled. His gaming setup was sold to help cover some of the losses. And my parents gave him a choice. Get a job or move out. He thought they were bluffing. They weren't. A month later, Jason was working at a sporting goods store. One evening, he came home complaining that his manager kept telling him what to do. I looked at him and said, that's weird. I thought you liked telling other people what to do. He just stared at me. And honestly, it took every ounce of self-control not to laugh.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this.